because my hair is poofy, but I'm like, whatever. Hi you guys, welcome back to another video. It's me, Bella K. If you have not seen my last video or videos, just know your girl is doing big things now. Big things with the poofy hair, and she opened an event space. So this video is going to be a quick video sharing like the process of opening my event space. Last time I went into like, was it worth it? How was it after opening, all that good stuff. But now I'm going to give you the step-by-step process of what I did to open my event space. The first thing that you want to do is do your research, okay? And I hope this video is a source that will help you, but you want to know what the market is, how event space are, what areas you want to be in, how much money you'll need, do a business plan so you can get funding, all this type of stuff. I created my business plan on Canva. They have templates on there, and I just literally swapped out like my information from like the template that they had. Super easy, super simple, right? That is the first thing you want to do is research, research, research. The next thing I did was secure some funding, right? So I went through someone that a friend recommended me on Instagram. I don't want to share her because I did not have the best experience with her, and I also like referred her to someone else after, and they didn't have the best experience. So but what I will say, because I know this is like the biggest question that you guys have, is how'd you get funding? I went through her, and she connected me to a bank, and they funded my event space, right? But you can find someone. A lot of people are doing funding nowadays on Instagram. You can find someone on TikTok who helps you find funding. So I would just say find someone and do your research on them. But I just don't feel comfortable sharing someone who I did not have the best experience with. And I hope you guys can understand that. But we kind of knew what we needed. I did the math, and I knew what it would cost to take on a project like this, and we asked for that and we got it. So you did your research, you got your funding, now you're ready to start looking for your location. So what I would suggest you to do is drive around your city or the area that you want to have your event space in and look for those for lease signs in the windows. My event space is in like a strip mall type of thing. So I literally drove around and called a whole bunch of locations. The first thing I want to make sure that you guys know is you have to ask them if they accept event spaces there, because a lot of them do not, and they will not. And then also it's very tricky because the owner or the realtor for that lease space will say, yeah, you know, we do, but you want to make sure that the city accepts it as well. And I will explain that to you guys here in a little bit. But you have to do your due diligence, and you can't just go with the first place you see. You have to do your research. You have to make sure there's a lot of parking for events and all that type of stuff. But drive around and figure out where you're going to have this thing at. That's the next thing that you want to do. So I had 2 realtors that ended up ghosting me. And it's so funny. And the story behind it is the location that I'm in now, I wanted to find out before I actually got into it when I was working with my realtor. But the owner of the space was like, you know, I don't work for realtors. And I ended up telling my realtor that, and she was like, you know, let's just pass on it and keep looking, because of course she wouldn't get anything out of it. Long story short, we ended up finding another location. That location I did not feel right going through with, and I told her, no, I don't want to do it. And she ghosted me. So what I ended up doing is I ended up circling back on this one now that I don't have her anymore. And I talked to the owner, and he was like, yeah, literally guys, within a week I applied for it, I got approved, and I signed the lease in 1 week. So you see how God worked, right? So find your location. It was a journey for me, and it may be a journey for you, it may not be, but just make sure that you're doing your due diligence as far as like if you're even allowed to be here. And that brings me into the next part, is getting your city approval. So for me, in the city that I am in, I live in Texas, and I had to apply for a special use permit, okay? What that means is, since I am going to be an event hall, I had to apply for a permit that gave me special use in order for me to be at this location. Okay, and I hope I'm saying that right, but that was the first thing I had to do. Go to my city hall and be like, okay, so what is the steps do I need to do? They said you need a special use permit. I did everything that required it. I turned in all of my paperwork, all that good stuff, and we started the process. And y'all, that process took 4 months. So if you think opening an event space is gonna be a one-stop shop, quick, boom, bop, bop, it's not. Have some patience, okay? But luckily, I've secured my space already, and my owner was working on building out this space as I was waiting on the city to get approved. So it was all working simultaneously, and we ended up being done at the same time. Like, he was done building out the space, and I was done getting my licenses with the city at the same time. So that worked out great. But anyway, so I got approved by the city, and I had to go sit in front of the mayor and the city council in order for, rest my case and tell them what I'm doing in the city, blah, 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 and they approved it. So it was a journey. I was very nervous about the journey, high anxiety, but we got through it. And then after I got my special use permit, I had to apply for a certificate of occupancy. Now, every business that has a big brick and mortar needs a certificate of occupancy. And that pretty much, you have to have it in the front of your spot. And it shows like how many people can be in here, the square footage, all of that good stuff, what the business is. Every business needs that, right? So I applied for that. That one took like a week or so for me to get that one. But the city be dragging their feet, y'all. I don't know about y'all city, but my city was dragging their feet, and in total it took 4 months. So you got funding, you found your spot, you got the city's approval. Now is the fun part, is getting your space together. Now, depending on what type of event space that you want to open, this part should be fairly easy. I do want to mention, it all depends on the space and location that you got. So some people may have to add the floors, the walls, add all the bells and whistles to their spot. But what I want to mention is, for when I got my spot, I negotiated my lease. So the owner legit took care of building the whole space out on its dime. So negotiate your lease, you guys. So if you are getting like a shelf, they call it a shelf space in the commercial world. All right, you guys, here is the space. It literally looks like nothing, but it's about to become very much something, yeah? Okay, so we got the HVAC in. He did that over the last couple of weeks. As you can see, there is no bathrooms in the back. So this is called a shell space, which means pretty much that it has no floors, no insulation, no nothing. So that is everything that the owner's gonna do. So he's gonna do all this, the lighting, everything, right? So in the back, I don't wanna go too far because I don't know what's down here, I'm very much so scary. But in the back, he's going to add 2 bathrooms back there, and it's gonna be like a wall, like right here, like in the back right there. So it's gonna be very much so cute. But yeah, y'all, this is what we're working with. We still have some stuff, I guess, that needs to go up. Y'all, I don't know. But yeah, look at it. Let me move out. It literally has nothing. You have to add everything to it. Have the owners of the spot do that. And if they were like, you know what, no, we don't want to do it, negotiate to where you can get some months off on your lease for free, and you have time to really get the space together while you're have free months. They'll either do one or the other, but I would just ask. Because another thing I got for my space is I got 1 month free. He built everything out for me, and he also went down on the monthly rate. So just ask. It doesn't hurt anyone, but just ask. Other than that, is the real fun part, is like making it pretty, making it look nice, depending on how you want yours to look. Me, I'm a pre-styled space, so I added the couches. I did a little extra with the wall. I got a custom bar. I got custom benches. These tables right here, they're custom, but they were affordable because I was looking on Facebook Marketplace. That's a plug. People on Facebook Marketplace are very talented, and depending on what you look for, they can make literally anything for you. And once you are done making it on nice and pretty, you're pretty much ready to open, right? And you have to figure out like what you're gonna offer, your packages, do your website, your logo, all of that fun stuff, which I'm sure you guys already know. For me personally, I use Honeybook as my system to communicate with my clients, for my tours, to send out my invoices, contracts. I use Honeybook for that. And I actually hired someone to set all of that up for me. So if you would like to know her information will be in the description box. She literally set all my systems up for me. I had to not lift a finger, but get on the call and tell her what I wanted my back end to look like. Legit, she is amazing. But I hired her to do all that for me. I did my website myself. My website is through GoDaddy. I hired someone to do my logo. So all of the branding stuff, you have to keep in mind that it's something that you have to do. And I kind of set myself apart with and went a little extra with my branding, because typically event spaces, they really don't have an identity outside of being an event space. But I went a little bit more with me, because, you know, I got to be different. And I branded me as a swanky space, right? And just branding it as not your average space. You offer a little bit more. It's pre-styled. So work on all of those things, because that is very, very important. How you show up to your customers and how you identify yourself as. That is pretty much a quick rundown of what it takes to open up an event space. Your journey is not gonna look like mine. I'm only speaking from my experience, and hopefully this helps you get more clarity on what you need to do and the process, kind of what the process looks like, but not, of course, it's gonna be different from state to state and cities and all that stuff. So I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.